Have you ever been stuck in a massive traffic jam on a huge bridge and had that tiny, nagging thought, what if this whole thing just gives way? Well, it turns out there's this secret engineers use to stop that from ever happening. It's kind of like a hidden map that can predict the future. So, yeah, let's ask that big question. How does a bridge survive the absolute crushing, unpredictable weight of all those cars and trucks? The answer, you'll find, is actually way more elegant than you might think. Okay, so here's the deal. Designing for a fixed weight, what engineers call a static load, the bridge's own concrete and steel, that's pretty straightforward. But moving loads, all those cars and trucks constantly shifting around, whoa, that is a whole different and much more dangerous ballgame. And that right there is the engineer's dilemma. Imagine a heavy truck driving across the bridge. The stress on any single point is changing constantly, every single second. So how on earth do you find that one single critical moment, that absolute worst case scenario? It's a real puzzle. Well, this is where engineers get really clever. They use this brilliant tool called an influence line. Now, instead of trying to track all that chaos at once, it does something genius. It creates a simple stress map that shows how a load anywhere on the bridge affects just one specific critical spot. And what's so cool about this is how different it is from other diagrams. You might have seen something like a bending moment diagram, right? That just shows you the stress for one fixed setup. But an influence line, that's totally different. It's a dynamic tool specifically for finding the worst possible place for that moving load to be. It's literally for hunting down the danger. Okay, but here's the coolest part. This is where it gets, mind-blowingly awesome. To create this secret map, engineers don't have to do mountains and mountains of complex calculations. Nope. The bridge, it literally reveals its own secret. There's this concept called the Mueller-Breslau principle, and honestly, it's almost like magic. What engineers do is they basically pick a spot on the bridge, and in their model, they remove its support and just give it a little push upwards. And the shape the bridge bends into, that shape is the influence line. It's the bridge drawing its own secret map of all its danger zones. How cool is that? And get this isn't some newfangled computer age idea. It's a principle that's so fundamental, so brilliant, that its discoverer, Heinrich Miller-Breslau, laid it all out perfectly way, way back in 1886. So once they have this secret map, the rest is actually pretty simple. Engineers just look for the highest peak on that line. Boom, that's the most critical spot. They can then place the heaviest possible load right at that peak in their calculations, and just like that, they've found the absolute maximum stress. All the guesswork is just gone. And that simple shape gives them 100% certainty. They know, without a shadow of a doubt, the absolute maximum stress that any single point on that bridge will ever have to deal with, no matter how crazy the traffic gets. And then, what do? They take that maximum number and they design the bridge to be way, way stronger. That extra buffer, that built-in cushion, is called the factor of safety. And that is the reason you and I can drive across these massive structures without a second thought. So the influence line is just one of these incredible, invisible secrets that keeps our modern world from, falling apart. It really makes you wonder, right? What other brilliant engineering ideas are hiding all around us, in plain sight?